Hey people, how are you doing? I just wanted to quickly come to camera because I had a beautiful download this morning and it's just achingly simplistic. And so my question to you might be, in this sea of astrology and changing times and roller coaster of moving energy, what if I could bring you one energy to focus on for the whole of August? Would that simplify things? I'm assuming your answer is going to be yes. And I want to bring you a beautiful lady, it's not a lady, beautiful energy that came to me this morning. Which is the Queen of Cups. And there are many depictions of the Queen of Cups. A very typical depiction is Queen sitting on throne in water and sitting in her emotions and learning how to be with her emotions. And I just kind of did a quick peek into just this week's astrology, moving into next week. And she seemed to kind of tick all the boxes and hit all the place markers of a common denominator that might be useful to keep coming home to. And then things happened. So I'm just going to bring all the things that happened in, because they seem to be making up a lovely melange. Okay. So a headline caught my eye, which is "The Earth is spinning faster." I'll pop the link in the description box. There's lots of news about this, so find your favorite news channel. And my favorite quote from the link that I'll share is from an Australian astronomer, Fred Watson. What a great name, Fred, who explained to ABC, when you start looking at the real nitty-gritty, you realize that the Earth is not just a solid ball that is spinning. It's got liquid on the inside, it's got liquid on the outside, and it's got an atmosphere, and all of these things slosh around a bit. I absolutely love that quote because it really speaks to the astrology, okay? Lots of elemental shifting and moving, kicking up all sorts of dust. So it's all sloshing about a bit. And what I'm noticing in the collective is there seems to be some deep ego shadow presenting itself. Wounds around the money wound, the good enough wound, the jealousy wound, and, but not least, the people pleaser wound. That's been all over the radar recently, the people pleaser. And so we bring in the Queen of Cups, and I'll just bring you some keywords. So the Queen of Cups, sorry, I thought someone was knocking on the door. It's the Queen of Cups. In her light expression is compassion and warmth and kindness, intuition, supportive, healer, counselor. So that beautiful energy, all the feelingness. In her shadow, she's insecure. She gives too much, people pleaser. She's overly sensitive, needy, leans into martyrdom, fragile, and dependent rather than independent. And when we're in that martyr wound, we're dependent on the reaction from that which we have given to. And if that doesn't give us the stroke that we seek, then we're forced back into our hunger, we're forced back into the gap, the missingness. And so we project resentment. That's how the martyr just feeds shadow, really. And then, whilst making my breakfast, I flipped the radio on, and an oldie. I'm sorry, I can't remember the year this was made. I can't remember the last year this was made, the year this was made, the last century. And it's a song by Gilbert O'Sullivan, and it's called Nothing Rhymed. And it just came in, and I'm bringing it in because the lyrics are ridiculous. If I give up the seat I've been saving to some elderly lady or man, am I being a good boy? Am I your pride and joy? Mother, please, if you think, say I am. Cancer. Gemini and Cancer. And if while in the course of my duty I perform an unfortunate take, would you punish me so unbelievably so? Never again will I make that mistake. This feeling inside me could never deny me the right to be wrong if I choose. And this pleasure I get from, say, winning a bet is to lose. So it's the child pleasing the parent and then swimming against the grain. Okay. And that's it for the notes. I'm keeping it super simple. I think I've decided this more because I need to take rest. I need August to be different for lots of reasons. So I'm not doing any big astro report. I think it can bury us. We need to get into the simple. I need to get into the simple. I'm not speaking for you. And here we go. So we're going to keep it simple. And I've pulled some weird decks, so I'm just going with that. It's the decks that I hardly ever use. Now we're going to start with the crystal mandala for some reason. And we're going to invite in the Queen of Cups as a useful go-to energy for August at least. Yeah, okay. And so what we've been doing, just to remind you and recap, is we've been beginning the dissolution of the intellect as the henchman to the ego. Oh, well, I feel this and it's because I feel this. Explore. That's where the sentence should end. I feel this. But then the intellect comes in with the expectation of the outcome, because the intellect needs to manage to maintain the status quo. And so we're beginning that work, and I'm seeing the intellect coming down like a tower. It's beautiful work. Doesn't look pretty, feels like crap. Feels like crap because the intellect has kind of built the wall to prevent us from seeing inwards to the truth of how we're feeling, the depth of that Queen of Cups, the depth of the heart, the cup grail, the depth of our water element. And remember, of course, the South Node, if the North Node is in Taurus, the South Node is in Scorpio. The daring rebirth. This feeling inside me could never deny me the right to be wrong if I choose. And the pleasure I get from, say, winning the bet is to lose. But the ego and other people's ego will come in and question that, but you didn't win. Well, what's winning? That's a human subjective value placed on a transaction. Goddess Ishtar and Astrophyllite. Daring rebirth coming in on the 41-5. Feel moon energy in this. It's almost like I'm staring at the moon through a stained glass window. It's gone very quiet since that card came in. 41, let's have a look. So, daring rebirth. This bold spirit in you claims the divine defiance of the phoenix. The defiance of the phoenix. It refuses defeat at every turn. No matter who or what may seek to overpower your spirit, your peace, your loving heart, and your wild optimism, you will triumph in a divine and daring rebirth. The triumph won't come from doing the same thing. Triumph will come from standing deeply in your waters and moving on that. Do not limit yourself with expectations. Ah, Lordy. Whether from someone else or your own mind, there is so much possible for you, a radically different and new you to become. Believe, and so shall it be. And this attachment to outcome, expectation, it's only expectation that causes disappointment. Expectation negates exploration, and true exploration has no end. There's no end to it, there's no outcome to it. You can explore and create and build and explore 1133. Wow. That's gorgeous. Daring rebirth. A daring rebirth could be something as simple as sublimating that egoic intellect that wants to be right and clever and fixed, and using a completely different narrative. I don't know is a completely different narrative. Because your I don't know can trigger another person, because they might be looking for the answer in you, codependency. And you might want to please that, people pleasing, overgiving. But sometimes when we just leave that, I don't know, what does it feel like? Remember, feelings and intuition and gut. Well, gut is feelings, but feelings and intuition. That's it for that, yeah. And I haven't shuffled these cards, so this is the Gaia deck. I haven't shuffled them, but I was really taken with the underlying card. Which is the Nine of Earth, so the Nine of Pentacles. Which is about, it's kind of, I have everything I need in this moment. And it's the joy of being alone. It's the accomplishment of being alone, of having made it alone, create it. And it's also taking responsibility for the world around you that you've created. And that's created by perception, values, beliefs, judgments. Rather than kicking against, and this is the energy that's coming in, the kicking against, but why doesn't it? But why can't it? It's that energy that's coming in. And it's coming in because it's useful. It's a catalytic energy. And when we harness that and sit in it, because what that's also going to break down is this bloody toxic positivity bullshit that's been running since the 90s. And it's basically an avoidance technique. If it feels crap, do this. And that's basically saying distract yourself. Don't sit on that watery pond. Don't sit in it. We can sit in it. Sitting and wallowing, obviously, you know, there's an arc curve here. Sitting, being, transmuting, feeling, understanding, compassion. It's all coming home to self. I'll show you the card now. I've showed you the card. And what I really love about this card is it's kind of offering this cup of love. And it's a transformational cup of love. And she's not even holding on to it, look. She's not even holding on to it. She's just using that beautiful, well, she's using her regal, her regality. And staying in her intuition to offer a cup of love. And if it isn't taken, she's not going to take it personally. If it's rejected, she's not going to take it personally. Ah, beautiful. So this is uplifting the people pleaser. This is just, I've just kind of tuned into, I have more than enough. Yeah. So when we give from that perspective, there's no expectation. There's no expectation, obligation, entitlement, energy of, but you didn't give to me. I gave you this, but you didn't give to me. So let's have a look at the archetype day. I'm going to pull some more cards from the guide deck, I think. No, maybe not. Give me the archetypes that are going to get aspected. Show me the archetypes that are going to get aspected. Let's say for August. Let's say this is for August. That was the first one out. Then these two. And those two. All right. Huh. Okay. Underlying energy. The child eternal. This speaks straight into Lionsgate, straight into the spiritual sun, higher heart, opening, empowerment, resurrection of the child, all of my work. This is gorgeous. It's like the sun card, look. Whee! Light attributes. Determination to remain young in body, mind, and spirit. So that's that playfulness. That's that creative playfulness without all the adult nonsense that's been piled on top of it. The right and the wrong. Ability to see things with fresh eyes. And in its shadow, it's an inability to grow up and become responsible. Extreme dependency on others for physical security. And this is the money wound. 8th house Scorpio, shared resources. It's all going to get washed out. And a painful realization that money does not equal security. Feeling secure equals security, because then that is the creative energy, the source code, if you like, that creates your world. When you feel secure in what you create, you imbibe that creation with that energy. Anything else is dependency. And yeah, okay, I've got to share this with you, I'm being told. About, I can't remember when it was, and I didn't write it down. I do know. It was a week ago today. Within a day or two. And I woke up screaming at Saturn. I'd gone toe to toe with Saturn in my theta work. And because I'd done a piece of work, so I was deep in sleep, And then I moved to theta state, and I was aware that I was watching, what's that film called with Leo DiCaprio? And it's about traders, the stock market. And it's just an abusive, disgusting, dark, masculine, filthy, filthy energy. And I was drilling through it, drilling through and drilling through. I wanted to get to the essence of money. I wanted to get to the essence of money. And all I could see were these disgusting men filling the room with prostitutes and doing the dirty all over the desks, and then coming back to those desks the next day to gamble with people's life savings. And the energy was disgusting. That is what I was working through, and I was pushing through and trying to get to the essence of money. And I got there, and it was like a glass of gold champagne. It was full of this, and it was so uplifting. I just felt this rise of joy, and then I felt the sorrow of how money has been abused. The organism of money has been abused, and it's like, oh wow. It's like a child repeatedly pulled out of play state, repeatedly pulled out of play state and abused and abused and abused and made dark and made king. And then I went to war with Saturn. Can't remember what I said, but I remember screaming at Saturn. And so I think what I was anticipating, and it's actually shown up since that piece of work, is the money wound is getting coughed up. It's beautifully ugly, the money wound. And it's the money wound that has infiltrated our ability to manifest. Why? Because we've become dependent on money, which means, well, those two kids don't even know about money. They don't care about money. They're just chasing butterflies. They're chasing transformation. Sunflowers follow the sun, follow the solar plexus. Okay, this is all Leo energy. So I don't know what's going to happen with money. Change for damn sure. And there's a big question there. So I think I'm just giving you a heads up that the money wound is coming up 11:44. Just got the phrase turning darkness into light. It's like filling that for the container, the structure, with just light pouring in. That's 4. Lots of 4s. It's the 4th as well, isn't it? 4, 8, 12. Yeah. Okay. Right. Stop it, Chrissy. Next one. So there's a real nudge to just childfully and playfully sit in that Queen of Cups and feel. Yeah, this isn't just about sitting and feeling our wounds and not avoiding our wounds. This is about sitting and feeling joy, sitting and feeling upliftment. This is the harnessing of the emotions to build, using emotions as a catalytic converter. And to do that, I have to be in this fearlessness. We cannot avoid our emotions. We can, but it's going to hurt now. It's going to really hurt now because the divide is happening. Okay, Queen of Cups, come back in, come back in. Okay, the next archetype. Freeing yourself and others, question mark, from outmoded beliefs, releasing negative thought patterns. Well, okay. You cannot free anybody from anything. It is not your responsibility. However, when you free yourself, that does tend to ripple right down your DNA coding. So that will go to your family's history. So that will heal the ancestor. There's a caution here that you are not responsible for anybody else's journey, unless they're a minor. Shadow attribute of the liberator is imposing your own tyranny over those you claim to liberate. It's guru status, isn't it? Ignoring legitimate constraints. Yeah. So if you put those two together, that simply put is to liberate the inner child. But nothing worth getting comes without a little challenge. And so again, trickster energy is something we avoid. It never feels good, does it? It's devil energy. So the light attribute is transcending convention, Uranus, stuffiness and predictable behavior, Uranus, all the way home. Uranus will not abide convention. It is the planet of social revolution. Shadow attribute is manipulating others through duplicity. So that's, yeah, that is trickster energy, isn't it? Telling somebody something to get what you want. It's very manipulative. So yeah, transcending convention, liberating the inner child, it's all building. Because convention, if you look at convention in children, well, that equals squash the child, push it through the pipeline of take it away from the family early, push it through education, dominate it, dominate and suppress the creativity by feeding it lots of useless, bloody information, and then force it and pressure it and shame it and obligate it to take that education as far as it can go. And at the end of it, be left with massive debt and no job. I'm being cynical. Yep. Okay. Oh, this is interesting. Oh, wow. That's insane. Okay. So everything I've just said, teacher and dilettante. A dilettante is kind of a jack of all. It's someone who plays in lots and lots of different areas and never really gets qualified, but can find the pleasure and the joy and the expansion, the exploration in playing with lots of different aspects and shadows and versions of self and creative expressions. That's going to challenge a general public that wants a certificate. Delights in the arts without having to be a professional. Credentialism is a great word I learned this year. Credentialism. It's the brigadier. Hi, who are you? Oh, brigadier. Yeah, but what's your name? How are you doing? Yeah, when people push their letters in your face. Well, what's hiding behind those letters? What's hiding behind all of that education? I'm not disrespecting the hard work it takes to qualify at high level. But what's your motivation in that? I know too many people who went to university because mum and dad said so. They might just have wanted to have a much simpler life. Okay. The dilettante alerts you to the danger of becoming superficial in your pursuits. Shadow, pretension to much deeper knowledge, a pretension to much deeper knowledge than you actually possess. That's feeling like a nervousness to explore deeper. It's also talking into the shame of highly creative people who just need to create but don't really have a theme or a style or a medium. Like it's not all jewelry, it's not all workbenches, whatever. It's just this creative expression. I really want to uplift this card. Okay, let me turn that into a question. Okay. So what if you're superficial in your pursuits? There's my question. Are you in your joy? Can you tap into that? And can you liberate that? Because anybody who's been through the school system has had that shamed by the careers officer. What do you want to be? I've never known. I've never known what I wanted to be. I don't really want to be anything. I just want to be in my beingness. However that wants to express at any given moment of the day. So it's like school shaming coming out here, if I simplify it. School shaming, and that's going to be in the Queen of Cups. That's absolutely going to be in the Queen of Cups. Teacher. Ability to communicate knowledge, experience, skill, or wisdom. Shadow attributes, manipulating or abusing students. Maybe just become a student to the Queen of Cups within you. Maybe really just tune into where's my deepest water. Check your natal chart, see where your water signs are, see what house they're in. Rescuing's been a really big huge. Yeah, that's too big. There's too much to say on the rescuer as an archetype in society. The rescuer provides strength and support to others in crisis, acts out of love with no expectation of reward. That's a clean transaction. In its shadow, it assumes that the rescued will reciprocate, keeps the rescued one needy. Yeah. And again, it's I have more than enough. Have a cup of love, and I'm gone. I want nothing from you. Okay, what else? I'm going to these. I think this is one of my, if not my oldest deck. This is the deck I used to use when I started my private practice. How long that was ago. Oh, this isn't, I've never noticed that before. Okay, so time to ground, always. But what I've never noticed, oh, it looks like antlers. Firstly, we've got Gemini twins here. And this deep diving ancient turtle, ancient queen. And the underlying card is to embrace the masculine. I can't not bring you down. Ask yourself, what is your deepest fear? You can do this because you've been asking yourself, what is my deepest emotional need? And if the deepest emotional fear sounds like, well, I think it's this, but that's because, that will stop you experiencing it. And it happens in a second, but it's because, oh, I understand it. Okay. So why is it still a fear? What is going to transmute that and reharness that energy and use it in a different way? So ground, embrace the masculine, know your fears, and she'll take you there. Queen of Cups will take you there. So this is why I said, I think in the last video, there's no hurry at the moment. Let's just get through this game-changing shift. I mean, we're literally speeding up. We've lost 1 second from the man-made time calendar. I think it started July, end of June, July. Know your fears and be without malice. Beautiful. Come with through these. They're all really self-explanatory. They're just echoing what's been said. Okay. Be vigilant. That's coming in on that 7, so that could bring some trickster energy in. Be vigilant is paying attention. And when we pay attention, we kind of have to betray some old programming. We might have to betray the part of us that is obligated to give up our seat on the bus. Social convention, we might have to betray the part of us that wants to adhere to social convention. So be vigilant in the choice you're making. Where do I want to be in this? What do I want to experience in this Queen of Cups? What do I want to feel in this? And again, that quietness, this is such a stunning card. So see the signs. I wake up with the Queen. Then see the headline about the Earth spinning faster. Then Gilbert O'Sullivan. Then didn't shuffle the cards, but the underlying. So all of those signs have made this beautiful container to bring in the Queen of Cups and the archetypes that she's going to bring in. So you can only really do that in a slow pace. So, and another big message I got is stop pushing. If anybody is in push energy, it's not coming from a great place. If you're in push, we're in sit at the moment. We're in sit. Pay attention, go to the heart. Check, check, check. It's like learning a new operating system. Check, check, check. I might say, see new truths, So we're digging into our wisdom here. Light of the moon, the full moon in Aquarius coming up. Look at this beautiful card. Challenge your perceptions. Again, look at this 7 energy. No, I'm blind. It's 5, change. Yeah. If we keep doing what we've done, we'll keep getting what we've got. So daring rebirth, really begin to swim away. Like a queen with a mermaid tail. Stay strong. Courage, Leo, Lion, solar plexus, fire. Ugh. Stay strong, because you know, when we do this, the consequences sometimes of doing this is something I lovingly call willful disappointment, where we knowingly, unconsciously, and willfully disappoint that so that we can realign our truth, because it's not going in that direction anymore. It's actually going in this direction. Beautiful. That's lovely. Where to go now? Everything feels weird. Beasties. Can we wrap this up now, please? Okay, so we've got the money wound, we've got lack, lots of fixed energy. There's always enough. We just might be looking in the wrong direction. There's always enough. 3, 6, 9 is completion. Big completion. Epoch completion. This is like the hanged man with sonar. Oh, wow. Yes. Just listening to the vibration of your world web, your web, the web that you create that connects you to everything. Very Queen of Cups. Just listening for each little vibration. Hmm. 5611-2. It's DNA. It's the channel, the gateway. Wow, that's ownership on another level. That really is. It's like owning your whole world, managing your whole world. Not being pulled in different directions because you're leaning on your sword now. You have your sword. You're leaning on your sword, not being pulled. That's gorgeous. Thank you. Uranus. Okay, so yes. Okay, we're going to finish with an abundance card. Lol. I'm going to finish with an abundance card and then I'm off ski. Every person's journey inward is extraordinary and personal. What a different world it would be if just that moment of namaste and the inner journeyer in me bows to the inner journeyer in you with no judgment. What a different world that would be. How liberating to listen inside and sense moment to moment what is needed. Queen, that's not the best image of a Queen of Cups, is it? I can't even see her head. I know, I could have picked a better card, but yada yada. Loss. Sometimes you learn true offering through loss. You make a passionate invitation for love to take over and bring her own plan instead of the ego's. So this is some of the conversations I've been having recently are about this grabbing energy. This is the money wound. It's the grabbing, Four of Pentacles energy. And do you remember in the 80s when feng shui exploded onto the scene? And there's a beautiful energy with feng shui of creating abundance through empty space. And I've tried it and I've played with it and I've played with it. And every single time you empty a drawer, it doesn't stay empty. I remember what years ago, this is like 25 years ago, and I was looking for this particular pair of black evening trousers. I needed a pair of black evening trousers and I couldn't find them anywhere because I knew what I wanted. And this feng shui book came into my life and it was a simple little book, nothing complicated. And so I gridded my whole house and moved a few bits around. But the key thing I did was I emptied half of my wardrobe. Half of my wardrobe went to charity. 3 days later, I know, I'm honestly not making this up. 3 days later, the most elegant pair of evening trousers came into my life. Nature hates a space. She just needs to be invited in. So create space. Physical space, emotional space, spiritual space, by the letting go of the coin that we're holding on to. Well, that was rather elegant. I love these messages. Letting go of the coin that we're holding on to. Looking somewhere. No, I don't need all of it. I'm just going to take that one. Again, that's just repeating. See the signs. See the signs. Your personal messaging system won't be the same as anybody else's. So again, letting go of sameness, need to be the same. It's that need to belong. Belong to you. Primary relationship. Instincts are the message from the inner divine. And that is it. And that is it. Thank you, Queen of Cups. That was a rather delicious reading. So take it slow. Be in your water. Breathe. That's it, people. Have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you again soon. Take care. Lots of love.